What's going on, y'all? I'm Sean and welcome to another edition of Nosy Neighbors, the fragrance channel for beginners, casual users, and the fragrance enthusiasts. And here it is, because you guys requested it, my top 5 most complimented fragrances for niche, which is none other than this Molecule 01 by Centric Molecule. And although this juice has garnered me more compliments than the rest of the fragrances that are on my list today, the wearer of this fragrance doesn't always seem to actually be able to smell the fragrance themselves. But no worries, because I'm going to do a subsequent video in the near future going in depth about this would-be fragrance. From the house of 8 & Bob, we have their original 8 & Bob Eau de Toilette. Real quick, I would say that this is light, floral, aromatic, and it has some sweet undertones. So this is a really good fougere that people of all types have complimented me on, like while I was wearing it. And I've been able to wear this fragrance at every season, like doesn't matter, and it always performed well. And to my knowledge, this fragrance has, as long as it's been out, like I think this actually came out, if I'm not mistaken, like in the 1950s. I have to fact check that, but this has been out for a long time, and it is very well respected in the fragrance community, but not always the most talked about fragrance. So the most compliments that I got while wearing this fragrance has been not from people up close, but really people from a distance, because this fragrance is a little bit unique in the fact that it produces this scent trail that whenever you pass by, especially if there's like some wind or something like that going on, like people tend to pick that up, and it's a very pleasant, like overall vibe that this fragrance gives off. I mean, you get those like top citrus notes and those like heart, like floral notes and stuff like that, and they just blend together beautifully, and it never really disappoints. Like for this fragrance, I recommend like 5 to 6 sprays anytime you wear it. It doesn't really matter if it's hot or cold outside, it is going to work. All right, for number 5, we got 8 & Bob Eau de Toilette. For number 4, we have this fragrance, Mojave Ghost by the house of Buckaroo. And if I could sum up this fragrance, I would say that it is a light, floral, aromatic. That just to say that just because it's like light, floral, and doesn't have very many masculine notes, that you can't pull this off. No, absolutely not. Like, I definitely have worn the heck out of this fragrance and have garnered like many compliments wearing this fragrance from both men and women, people young and old. So like people tend to enjoy this fragrance, at least on my skin they do. And although this comes off as like pretty, and it does have like some feminine like undertones, like it's still something that you can pull off. And I think that overall this fragrance is unisex. All right, this fragrance is juicy, and I don't know how they were able to come up with a concoction that was both juicy and floral, but they pulled it off with this one. And this fragrance projects like crazy, which, you know, for a floral is something that you can kind of expect, but you don't really see these like work very well in the winter. But this one actually does quite well in a cold environment. I can speak from experience and tell you that this fragrance right here, Mojave Ghost, is pretty much an anytime fragrance. I would probably like vary the sprays. Like in the summertime, I'd probably give it like a good 3 to 5 sprays, and in a really cold environment, I'll also give it like 3 to 5, maybe like 1 more, like on the jacket or the outer garment that you're wearing. But this fragrance just works. Yeah, pretty awesome one by them, and one of their more compliment garnering fragrances for me personally, and that's Mojave Ghost. number 4. Number 3, we got this fragrance, Buckaroo Rouge 540 by Mason Francis Kirkjohn. This is the extra straight version, and this fragrance is absolutely beast mode. If I could describe this fragrance in just a couple of words, I would say this is rose and this is candy. And I'm just gonna give you guys one more word to describe it. I'm gonna say that this is royalty. This is absolutely like exquisite of a fragrance. Like the presentation that it comes in, this fine red bottle with the gold top, like everything about this fragrance is amazing. And whenever you actually spray this on yourself, like I definitely feel as if me personally, I feel like I'm spraying on confidence every time that I spray this fragrance. I can't really say enough about this fragrance as far as like the smell, the quality of it, because it's so, I'll get into an actual like full review whenever I actually think about it. But like if I could summarize this up, man, like this is just a great, amazing scent that is relatively unique, but I can see why people are drawn to this because of like the uniqueness of the scent and like how strong it is, because it is strong. This is a room filler, ladies and gentlemen. Like man or woman, whoever decides to wear this fragrance, like has to know that this fragrance is for the bold, not faint of heart at all. You have to be confident to pull this fragrance off. Like for one, this is not like a daily wear, like in my opinion. Like I know like my boy Matt will probably disagree and probably likes to wear this like at all times, which it is amazing and it deserves this type of attention. But like this fragrance is so pervasive, and I mean that in a very positive way, mind you. But this fragrance is definitely like a room filler, and I can see why it could like garner those compliments. Like imagine like the vibe that you get for a fragrance like 1 million, right? Where it fills up a room, but it does so in a much more pleasant, less cloying type of way. And as far as like how many sprays I would actually use to whenever I actually use this, I would go no more than 3 sprays, because I mean 1 spray is probably enough if we're being like honest, because this stuff is like potent. It just kicks, but it just so happens to smell good, like while it kicks. The next fragrance that I'm going to mention obviously needs no introduction. I've talked about it before, and I'm probably going to talk about it again. So without further ado, you guys already know what this is. Creative Ventus. Like scenario that happened a few times where I've been wearing Creative Ventus, where as I pulled up to the drive-through of, I forget whether or not it was a McDonald's or something along those lines, some type of fast food restaurant that I pulled through the drive-through. I remember the person that was getting ready to like serve me my food reached over like outside of the window, and they basically like leaned over and just asked me like, hey man, like I don't know what that is, but whatever you got going on in your car, man, like I want some of it. I was like, oh, whoa, you know what I mean? And like it has had that type of effect as far as like the compliments. I mean, not even gonna go any further into this the scent, but the number 2 scent on this list was Creative Ventus. All right. Number 1, last but certainly not least, we have this fragrance, Bergamot 22 by Le Labo. Honest disclaimer with this fragrance right here. This fragrance just so happens to be my favorite absolute favorite scent of all times. That kind of like lends disposition to a bit of biasness, but hey, it's my list, man. It's my list. What can I say about this this fragrance? As we know, bergamot, like the fruit, is one of the most widespread or like most commonly used notes. What Le Labo did was take this most commonly used note, right, which is bergamot, and mix in some musk, a few other like citrus, but basically they were able to blend this fragrance to some just degree of perfection, and it just absolutely works, especially like on a hot summer day where, you know, like where I'm right now in the daytime, it can get to up to 100 degrees in the day. Like once this fragrance mixes with that sweat that you have, it's a done deal, man. It's an absolute done deal. And there you guys have it. This has been my top 5 most complimented scents for niche. Stay tuned for a more updated list. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to live good and smell well.